Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Tim Williams. We're here to break down today's four-game slate over on DraftKings. We got four MLB games going on here, a little Cactus League showdown, and I don't want to waste any of your time. Let's just jump right in. So first game we got here is the Cubs versus the Indians. The Indians are favorites here early on. We have Jake Arrieta going against Zach Plesac. Jake Arrieta so far in spring training, 5.1 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts with a 3.38 ERA. He's a little bit older. He's a veteran. Will probably make the rotation right out the gate. I don't know if I really trust this matchup here. And then on the Indian side, you have Zach Plesac, who has pitched 7.1 innings so far. He's given up 12 hits, 7 earned runs, 4 walks, has struck out 10 guys, though. That is the silver lining there. Given up 2 home runs and pitched to an 8.59 ERA. I don't really know. He had a good year last year. He's still young, maybe still getting the kinks out of his shoulder, but with that disastrous start to the spring, I'm not sure if I really trust him in this matchup here, especially with the Cubs and how they've been hitting the ball as of late. Speaking of the Cubs, they're seventh in average, second in on-base percentage, fifth in home runs, third in stolen bases, and they're not striking out that much. They're 23rd in the league so far in strikeouts, so their offense is really clicking here early on. From a pitching standpoint for the Cubs, they're 15th in ERA, 18th in whip. So those two correlate well together. 20th in home runs, and then they're striking out guys toward the bottom of the league there, 26th. So pitching wise, they're kind of average, and all those numbers kind of align together. The key is that they're not really striking out a lot of guys as a whole. So pitching wise isn't really the greatest. Hitters in play for the Cubs, though. I do like Jock Peterson. I like Nico Horner. He's hitting the ball well. Vargas is hitting the ball very well as well. Guys that are also in play are the obvious ones: Bryant, Rizzo, Baez, Contreras, if you're filling your catcher spot, if he's starting. I like those guys. They are striking out a lot, though. But they all have power potential. And then on the Indian side, the favorites here, really surprised by this, but they're first in average, hitting 281 so far in spring, seventh in on-base percentage, and then they're right in the middle here with home runs and stolen bases, 15th and 16th respectively, and then 18th in strikeouts. So they are getting on base. They're hitting some home runs, they're hitting some stolen bases, nothing flashy, but the average here is key. So they're getting on singles, doubles. Pitching wise for the Indians, they're 20th overall in ERA with 5.09. Whip, they're 29th. So those are kind of similar numbers here. Home runs allowed 6th. So they're kind of allowing home runs here, but they're 5th in strikeouts. So that means that they're throwing the ball down the middle there, challenging hitters. Hitters are hitting it out of the park. So not the greatest start from the Indians starting pitching. Plesac is part of that. He has given up 2 home runs so far. He's been hit around a little bit, so I don't know if I trust it there. He's not like a Garrett Cole or something like that, where he has a proven track record. But hitters in play for the Indians, I like Jimenez. He's been hitting the ball. He's been their best player so far this spring. Bobby Bradley is hitting the ball out of the ballpark. I like Cesar Hernandez as far as getting on base, and then Chang's been hitting for power as well. So those are the 4 guys I like on the Indians if they start. Next game here, we have the Royals and the White Sox. White Sox are favorited in this one. You have Chris Bubik going against Dallas Keuchel, who I believe is making his spring training debut. On the Royals side, average-wise, they're 8th overall in the league, and then 18th on base percentage. So, last week we saw that the Royals were kind of, first, second in average. We're starting to see that slip a little bit. Which makes sense because they're not really getting on base at a very good clip. They are hitting home runs, though. They're first in the league in home runs. They're not really stealing bases all that well, and they're striking out quite a bit. So, the high strikeouts, the average will drop a little bit. So I don't know if I really trust the Royals hitting, but they do have power. I will say that. Pitching-wise for the Royals, they're kind of in the middle, 16th in ERA and whip. Home runs allowed, they're 10th. So they are allowing home runs, and then they're 9th in strikeouts. So again, they're challenging hitters. They're not afraid to throw the ball down the middle. Guys in play, if they are starting, I like Bobby Witt Jr. He's the young kid. I think he's like 20 years old. He looks damn good. Sal Perez, if he's starting a catcher. Prado's been really hitting the ball well this spring. Michael Taylor as well. And then Soler for power. He's not really hitting for average, but those are the guys that I like on that side so far. White Sox, it's Keuchel's debut. He had a amazing season last year. The key to his success last season was he only gave up 2 home runs, and he's really a guy who gives up a lot of home runs, and I've watched him a lot with the Astros. So last year might have been a little bit of a fluke season. I don't really trust him in this spot, especially with the Royals who do hit home runs. So Royals hitters may be somebody you'd want to target. But White Sox as a team, hitting wise, they're 22nd in average, 23rd in on base percentage. So that makes sense. 28th in home runs. I do believe once the season starts, that number will creep up a little bit, but they're 9th in stolen bases, 26th in strikeouts. So that's a good sign. They're not really striking out that much. Pitching wise, they're 11th in ERA, 19th in WHIP, 20th home runs allowed, and then 14th in strikeouts. So just about league average in all of those categories, respectively. Guys in play, I like Zach Collins if he's starting at catcher today. I like Garcia, Moncada. Jimenez is hitting for power. Eaton's getting on base, and then they're one of their top prospects, Vaughn. I like Vaughn in a sense that they are actually trying to sign him long term. So that means that he has a shot to start the season right out the gate. I like the White Sox this year. I really think they're just going all in, so they're not afraid to call up their prospects, and they got Tony La Russa as their manager, so they look pretty decent. Moving on, Dodgers versus the Diamondbacks. Dodgers are the clear favorites here. David Price is making his third appearance. He's pitched 4 innings, gave up a hit, a walk, 3 strikeouts, no earned runs, going against Merrill Kelly for the Diamondbacks, who has been all kinds of hit. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, giving up 3 home runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. So Merrill Kelly might be somebody you'd want to target today. Dodgers can hit the ball out of the ballpark, and we'll get into that. Dodgers hitting wise, they're 12th in average, 8th in on base percentage. So they are getting on base, 17th in home runs. They're not really stealing the ball, 11th in strikeouts. So they are swinging and missing here too. Pitching wise, some of the best we got in spring training, 4th in ERA, 3rd in WHIP. So those numbers correlate very well. 15th in home runs allowed, and then 14th in strikeouts. So about average here. And we know what they can do. Obviously, this team is probably almost a lock to get back to the World Series, it seems like. Guys in play, hitting wise, if they are starting, I love Seager in the spot. Lux has been hitting the ball very well. Might go low owned because he's hitting in the bottom half of the order. So I like Lux a lot. Barnes actually might be my favorite catcher. He's been hitting the ball well. He's been walking more than striking out. Betts is obvious play. Turner's been kind of slow in the spring, but he has a good track record against Kelly. So for whatever that's worth in a small sample size. And then Will Smith as well, depending on who's starting at catching or DH or whatever. But I like Barnes more. We'll probably go low owned. And then Diamondbacks here, hitting wise, they're 18th and then 22nd in on base percentage. So not great. 9th in home runs, 16th in stolen bases, and then 3rd in strikeouts. So I love David Price in this spot. He's a guy who can strike guys out, and with the Diamondbacks are 3rd in strikeouts, that's a key matchup here. I do believe he'll be the highest owned pitcher, but that's somebody I probably would not fade. So Price looks pretty good. And then Diamondbacks pitching as a whole, they're 9th in ERA, 8th in WHIP. So that's actually kind of surprising for me. Home runs allowed, they're 10th and then 4th in strikeouts. So they are getting strikeouts. They are, giving up home runs, but that makes sense because they are challenging guys. The only guys I really like and play for the Diamondbacks hitting wise is Marte and Matheson. Moving on, A's and the Padres. Padres favorited here. Sean Manaea, nice to see him back. 3 innings pitched so far in spring, 3 hits, earned run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts against Adrian Morejon. I might be saying that wrong. He looks like an okay option here. Pitching wise, there's not a whole lot that stands out besides David Price, but Adrian Morejon is 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. He's given up a home run, allowed 6 walks, which is concerning, and has 10 strikeouts. So he's just a little bit all over the place, which maybe he'll just go under owned, and that might pay off for you. I don't know. But hitting wise for the Padres, they're 15th and 16th in on base percentage. So right in the middle there, fifth in home runs, ninth in stolen bases, and they don't strike out a lot. And that's the key right there. They don't strike out a whole ton. So I do like their hitting. I know Manaea's on the other side of the ball, but Padres actually look decent here, and they are favorites for probably a good reason. Pitching wise, they're 10th in ERA and 10th in WHIP, respectively, and then they're not really giving up the ball a lot as far as home runs. So they're 23rd there, 16th in strikeouts. So overall, this team looks good. This is going to be fun to watch them challenge the Dodgers all season long, DFS or not. And guys in play here are Machado, has a decent track record against Manaea, Tatis, Myers, Marciano, Cronenworth, Mateo for steals. That's probably only for GPP plays. Mateo is actually, I think, leading the team in hits. He is stealing bases when he gets on. He has been getting caught, though, too. So that's kind of a risky play here. But overall, those are some of my takes here, some good stats overall. I like the Dodgers hitters here. I like the Indians hitters. Price looks pretty good. You could take a shot with Morion pitching. You could take a shot with Plesac as well. Kind of a risk. I don't like Arrieta in this spot. Bubik's a mystery. Keuchel's a mystery. So pitching could be kind of tough, but hitting wise, I like the Dodgers. I like the Indians. White Sox at some point are going to start crushing the ball. Royals are hitting a lot of home runs as well. But my name's Tim Williams. I hope this helped you out. I'm going to be covering spring training games and regular season games. So if you like this video, if you think this helped you, or you just like baseball in general, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. It really helps me out, and I really have fun doing this. So I hope you learned something new today, and I hope you have a great day.